Welcome back to my channel, baddies. I'm back again for the third week in a row. We are back with another YouTube video. I'm not gonna lie to you, baddies. Filming for YouTube has been kicking my butt, but you know what? It is so worth it. Your comments make it, the hard work, completely worth it every single week. So thank you for coming back and for supporting me. Today we're gonna make an amazing cup. It has more layers than an onion. It is absolutely stunning. We're gonna make this cup right here. I'll give you a better angle of it so you can really see its true beauty. We're gonna make this today and we're gonna have fun while we do it. So if you're enjoying my content, please give me a like and subscribe. That would help me so much. I am gonna be using my new baddie bundle to create this design. I can't wait to show you. Thank you so much for watching. Besitos! Please tell me that you're on the side of TikTok with all the demure videos. Very demure, very mindful. Oh my gosh, please tell me you've seen those videos. Anyway, those videos inspired the name of this bundle. This is the Demure Fall Bundle. And I chose everything for this bundle very carefully because I wanted some fall prints that were very vibrant and had lots of different elements because I knew we were going to put cellophane over the vinyl and I wanted the vinyl to still pop. So that's why I chose these two specific vinyls. Now you're also going to get a 7x7-inch decal sheet with gorgeous floral pumpkins and 4 fall decals, all matching the vinyl and the decals and the glitters. You're going to get 5 glitters with this bundle. The first one I just showed you was an absolutely stunning orange. Then I showed you this little like party mix that's got a little bit of orange and some other colors in there. We've got a gorgeous green, this purple. Oh my gosh, eat your heart out. And then I mixed this gorgeous pink called Cami. I felt like all of these colors went together. Let me teach you a little hackety hack, okay? I do not like the Cricut. I hate it. I've always been very public about it. She is not my friend. So I avoid using the Cricut any way that I can. So a hack that I like to do to avoid having to always use my Cricut is I flip the vinyl upside down and on the backing, I take a ruler and I draw a line on both sides because that's going to give me evenly sized strips without having to fire up my Cricut. So that's what I'm doing. Make sure you're very mindful when you're cutting. Don't cut very big and crazy like those other girls that use their scissors very mindlessly. Be demure, be cutesy with it, be careful. We love a demure cutting queen. Okay, that came out wrong. A paper cutting queen. Anyway, so I'm going to repeat the process with both vinyls. As you can see, I had already made my very first mistake, which was to draw the lines horizontally instead of vertically because of the way the pattern was going. So I had to go back and fix that. Listen, making mistakes is my middle name. I encourage it. I think that we learn from it. And it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna, after I cut those the strips, I am applying them in a swirl slanted angle, kind of like in the same way that you would do Milky Way swirls. So I am just applying that, and I am going to use a 1-inch painter's tape to establish the space in between my vinyl, just to make sure that all my vinyl is perfectly evenly spaced out. This vinyl is really beautiful. Even if you end up not doing cellophane on top of it, imagine taking like a really gorgeous opal and just doing the tack it method on top of this vinyl. It's so pretty. So after I did this, you guys already know, if you watch my videos, you know I'm a huge fan of prepping with acrylic paint. I like to always prep my base with the color of the glitter that I'm going to use. I think that it just makes it pop and it makes it look so much more beautiful. I went ahead and saved you the time and the pain of having to watch me paint all of the cup. So I went ahead and just skipped to where my paint is already dry. Now I am mixing some of that same acrylic paint with my Mod Podge. You know I like to have the best possible coverage, so I like to put a little bit of acrylic paint in my glue, and it's amazing. So this is what you see me doing here. This is some Mod Podge with some acrylic paint. I cannot even begin to stress to you how beautiful the colors in this collection are. I don't even know if they're like a mix of iridescent with holographic. I don't know, but the shimmer The shimmer on these chunky glitters is out of this world. Now, the reason I decided to go with purple, because I could not decide what direction I was going to go in. But the reason I decided to use purple is because most of my decals are orange. And so I wanted to have a little bit of balance. I thought to myself, if I do the orange glitter and then the orange decals, that's going to be very orangey. And that's not very demure. That's not very mindful. Okay, so we decided to do purple since we're going to add a whole bunch of orange and rust colored elements to the top of this tumbler. So that's why I decided to go with the purple. And then of course, one of the glitters that I was most excited about using, look at that purple glitter. Oh my gosh, I could see that in snow globes. You could use this for fall. You could use it for Halloween. You can use it for Christmas. I mean, there's a lot of people that like to do the whole pastel color Christmas and the pastel color Halloween. This is, I'm not even kidding you, the perfect purple for that. Ooh, sorry, my camera, I had to adjust you. Now, this is another glitter that I was very excited about, and I think I'm going to have to buy myself another light. One of my filming lights broke. That is why the right-hand side of my screen is kind of dark and you can see so many shadows. So I am going to make an investment this week and get myself my lights back on, because I swear this video does not do these glitters any justice. So now I'm not going to go too in depth about the cellophane, because last week's tutorial was an in-depth tutorial on how to apply cellophane. So today we're just going to move a little bit faster through that process. I will link the video at the end of this video in case you want to go back and watch in more detail how to apply cellophane. So the first thing you want to do is take it up and crinkle it. You want to get as many wrinkles in it as you can. And then you are going to take the same ruler that you used to cut your vinyl, and you're going to do the exact same thing on the cellophane. The reason you want to do it this way is because the cellophane strips are going directly over where the vinyl is. So this ensures that the cellophane is the exact same size as the area where your vinyl goes. Now you can use tack it glue, or you can use the foil glue from Artistic Painting Studio, which I will link in the description for you. I love this glue. I think it's very sticky. Ooh, my son is in the bathroom coughing up a storm. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Honey, try to choke in more quietness, please. Thank you. Anyway, back to our video. So I went ahead and used foil glue from Artistic Painting Studio, and then I do a nice even coat over the entire section. I did one section at a time. I do not recommend you putting glue on every section that has vinyl. Do one section at a time, because this glue is very sticky and you're gonna have all sorts of stuff sticking to your cup. Now, once it's fully dry, you're just going to carefully take your strip of cellophane and guide it along the way. And now you want to make sure that you are really pressing down with your thumb and getting rid of any air bubbles, or you don't want to have too much cellophane poking out in some areas. You want to try to make it look as flat and as flush as possible. So take your time. Apply little by little. Make sure you're pressing that cellophane down. As you can see, I was using my fingernail and really dinging it in there. I'm sorry. Dingiting, dingity ding ding ding. Do I not know how to pronounce digging? I was really digging it in there and really just making sure that everything looked amazing and that it was all pressed in good. Then I take my scissors and I just cut the excess at the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get a more precise cut to make sure that you don't have like an overhang of cellophane going into your glitter. You basically don't want any pieces of cellophane sticking up, because there could be some epoxy that gets under there. It could make it very easy for you to get a smooth cup. You don't want to have to do that much sanding. So just take your time, take an X-Acto knife, go around the edge and make sure you're cutting off any excess cellophane that maybe you had left over that isn't adhered to the vinyl. We want to get rid of all of that and try to make it as precise as possible for when we go in and seal. You baddies know I'm a fan of time lapses, because once I feel like I've showed you a step and explained in detail how to do that step, I feel like you don't need to watch me do the entire cup in real time, because we would be here forever. Look how beautiful it already looks. Now, of course, I am going to seal my glitter and cellophane 3 times with my spray. I like to put it in front of a fan and just spin it periodically until it's fully dry. You do not want to come in here with epoxy until your sealer is completely dry. And then I'm going in with Flynn's Sister Supply Shop Artist Cure. It's my favorite epoxy. It speaks for itself. You'll see this cup at the end, very minimal bubbles. It just looks incredible. You just can't compete with the finish. It's so beautiful. And then Cami, which is also from this collection, might I add, it has opal hearts in it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to pinch a little bit and I'm putting it in between the vinyl and the glitter. Now this is a very translucent glitter, so it's not gonna get you full coverage, which is fine. That's not what I wanted. I didn't need the full coverage because we're gonna do the Milky Way swirls. I just wanted to add a little extra pizzazz, you know, a little bit of extra layer of glitter to start kind of piling on those onion layers and start creating more things for you to look at. And as the cup was turning, some of those opal hearts were like slipping and sliding, and it just spread them out to other places, and it made the cup look so beautiful. What makes me really sad about this tumbler is that the camera is not capturing the true beauty of all of the details of this cup. At the end of the video, I did try to get as close up as possible to show you, but it is just one of the most beautiful cups I have ever made. Now, I don't want to take credit for this whole opal vibe. You know, when I went to Tumbler Invasion, Callan had this beautiful cup and she calls it her opal design. And she does the cellophane over vinyl, and then she adds like the epoxy swirls. I think it is such a beautiful technique, and I just had to adopt it, and I had to, you know, put my own twist on it and turn it into like a Opal Milky Way. So shout out to Callan for the inspiration. Thank you so much, Callan. Your cup is so beautiful and it inspired me, and now I can't stop. So I went ahead and mixed 30 mLs of epoxy, and then I put a nice thin coat over my tumbler. The epoxy that I had left, I took some acrylic white paint, put it in there, mixed it up. Now, before I came in here to start applying my swirls, I let the cup spin for about 7 minutes. The reason I did that is so that the epoxy would start to thicken a little bit, because when I put my swirls on here, I don't want them to immediately start going all over the place, right? I want them to, for the most part, I want them to stay put where I'm putting them. So that's why I gave the cup a little bit of time to just kind of spin. This is what our cup is looking like so far. I cannot wait to come back on here after this is dry and add even more elements and more layers. I absolutely love it already just as it is, but I do want to come in here and add some foil. So after it was dry, I went ahead and grabbed it, did a little sanding in the areas where I felt like it needed some buffing, and then I took a fine brush and I used my foil glue from Artistic Painting Studio, and in some of the areas in between the vinyl and the glitter where I maybe didn't really get full coverage with my swirls or with my glitter that I sprinkled there, I'm covering that up with gold foil. I think that gold is very demure. It's very mindful. It doesn't do too much. It's not out there demanding all of the attention, but it's still beautiful and fancy, you know, very demure, very cutesy. Baddies, if you do not know what I am referencing, do yourself a favor and look up the Demure guy. Oh my gosh, he is so funny. You're gonna binge all his videos and then come back and leave me a comment and let me know that you know what I'm talking about now, because I can't stop, okay? Very demure, very mindful. So what I did is I just kind of went around the tumbler, and like I mentioned before, in the sections where I felt like I needed more coverage, and I went ahead and I did foil all over it. Now, because I really wanted this cup to have so many different elements and textures and different things for you to look at, I decided to add another foil. This is kind of like a crackle effect in holographic. So when you add this to a tumbler, it only adds that holographic crackle. And look how beautiful it looks. It looks stunning. I I cannot stop looking at this cup. It has so many different textures and elements. I'm obsessed with it. Now, here are our decals that come in our bundle, and it took me forever. I could not decide which one I wanted to use because I feel like they all matched and they were all super cute. But in the end, I did decide to go with this cute little fall quote. And I started placing my pumpkins in different sporadic areas. These little pumpkins are so beautiful and just very demure, very classy, very cutesy, very girly, very pumpkin patch-y. They have like floral elements around them, and I just think they look so beautiful and so pretty. Like, this is such a beautiful bougie fall cup. I love it. I want to make a million, billion, trillion of them. I'm super obsessed, and thank goodness for UV DTFs, because ever since I had to stop like physically cutting my own decals, my life has just improved, okay? I'm a happier girl. I don't fight with my Cricut as much because I don't turn it on as much. Dead, that is so funny. Anyway, but yeah, these are super beautiful, super easy to apply. They come on super smooth, and I'm obsessed with them. If you didn't get that by how much I'm raving about them. So this is pretty much it. I think I'm done adding elements for now. We went ahead and added our final coat of epoxy. There are so many things for you to look at: the cellophane, the glitter, you know, all of the different textures, all the different decals. I mean, the texture peeking out from underneath the cellophane. It's probably one of my favorite cups I've ever made. Now, in the next video, it's going to be a super zoom for you to really be able to appreciate the details. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment. And don't forget, if you liked all of the decals I used on this cup and the vinyl and the glitter, it is all available right now on my website. It is the DEMURE Fall Bundle. Definitely snag one because my bundles have been selling out every week. And until next time, besitos!